Hello. There have been a lot of discussions about what scopes are right and what scopes are wrong. And today I would like to explain to you what I believe is the common misconception on when a scope is good. Obviously, all scopes are good and it's a matter of personal taste. However, I believe, at least from my point of view, that a scope is good if you can see a center dot and you can still see the enemy, and this means they should be in different colors. Now, most scopes come with a center dot in a very specific color, and you should ask yourself if you require your enemy outlay color to be the same color as your center dot. So, you might not want to run red, because quite a couple of already pretty good scopes run red. For example, the ACOG 2-point runs some red dots, and you would like to see them because for attackers, for me personally, this is the favorite scope, but not everyone has an ACOG. So this, for example, is as you can see, the Ash Reflex. This is pay to win. This might come back in a bundle. I prefer the ACOG, to be honest, so you're not gonna see me running this. But if you do really want to run a scope, which normally is Defender exclusive, shows you a lot of screen, and is a one-times, then you can run this Reflex, and it's pretty nice. Like if you actually wanted to run a hipfire grip, no, not hipfire, like light grip or horizontal grip, then you really might enjoy playing this grip. However, I'm more of a vertical grip player because while you might think from my arcade notes that I have the best reflexes, this might be true, but the problem is I have very bad internet. So I have a very bad upload rate, which means I cannot take all the gunfights. I have to pre-fire and I have to pre-aim. And this is the only way I actually am guaranteed to win a 50-50 gunfight. Because my internet upload rate is so bad, it's almost always red. Like it says I have a 30 to 50 ping, but my upload packet is really bad. So I just prefer playing slow, playing methodically, and just predicting. This game is about positional. I am a chess player. I love chess. It's one of the reasons why I like Siege. So you're not gonna see me run this scope. However, for most people, the scope might be pretty good because you just see a lot of the screen. Okay, now let's first go through all the pay to win scopes, and then let's talk about the other scopes and when they are good. Okay, honestly, I'm not 100% sure. I think Ash does not have any more crazy scopes. Okay, no. I think here is a special scope. It's a new iron sight, which is from the Battle Pass of Season 2. I think it's bad, don't run it. Very bad. But it's exclusive. Here you have a Reflex, which is pretty bad for my opinion. I see no reason in this. I'll show it to you. Let's pick a build, which I don't normally pick anyways. Okay. I don't play hipfire. I have too bad. Like, you see me running around with no recoil, but that's because I run every possible recoil item in this game. So if I don't have recoil control, I don't like taking long range gunfights. Look, problem with this, like this could be okay, but it's very chunky. It's also a green center dot. So green center dots felt really good when I had my game on warm and enemy outlay color purple. But you can totally do it, but having the game on warm sometimes makes it feel a bit trippy. And just having the game bright is really nice. So you don't have, if you don't have your game, have the game on warm and the enemy color on red or purple, I don't really recommend it. Just very chunky. There's no zoom, so might just get another scope. However, this is pay to win. I think it's from the pirate skin. Pistol iron sights. I might show it last, because these actually are pay to win. Autoplay here. Yes, here. A very unique scope, Kasse. I don't like it. I recommend you getting the L18 Pro in Kasse. Or the Reflex. I rock the Reflex. Probably my favorite Defender scope. But I'll show you how it looks. This is how it looks. Red center dot. Reflex. Pretty fun, to be honest. Definitely playable. But there was a time where I actually looked through old patch notes because I wanted to figure out the stats of some items and of like if there was actually a public announcement regarding the frames and light bullet and blah blah blah. However, I did not find it. But what I did find was a public text from Ubisoft, which basically stated that the Reflex was created for mobile because on Siege this runs a dot, and apparently the triangle is easier to spot from close range on mobile, and they did not say on a phone or on a tablet. I'm on a tablet. However, I tested and actually I agree. So I'll also, now that I'm talking about it, I'll show it to you now. This has a green center dot, which means it becomes a little bit worse if your enemies are in green. But in general, I still think that it's very visible, and it's still very good if you would manage it to play with enemies on red or enemies on purple. This is insanely good. If you don't run it on purple, still very good because the triangle is still very visible. You still always know where it is. It's also pretty good for recoil control, like because you just have clear edges of where the bullets are going. So my favorite scopes for if it's not an ACOG, it's definitely this scope, and it's not pay to win. This operator has a unique scope, which is the ACOG 2.5, which I am not the biggest fan of. I think the ACOG 2 times is more precise. This basically comes with a holo, view and zoom. I'll demonstrate it for you. So it looks a little bit like the Jäger scope we all know from the Nighthawk skin, but it has 2.5, and because we're an attacker, we're not really spawn camping with this, so not my favorite scope, to be honest. I prefer running the normal 2 times. But if you do like it or are thinking about getting the skin, this is how it looks. Okay. Now here's a unique scope for Tokaebi. Which is actually two. One is the RoPro. I'll show you both. And so far the scopes that I have are the most unique scopes. This scope is pretty fun, pretty good. I honestly prefer this over the RoPro because it's a bit more chunkier. It's black, it helps you like really lock in. More comparable, I feel like, to some Siege scopes because they feel more chunkier on Siege. So you can play it, but it's an attacker, so why wouldn't we run an ACOG? Now we have a couple of decent ACOGs. I like the Black Ice ACOG just because it's white, but I play 2 times on her. I play this. However, this scope does look like it would run a normal 2.5 ACOG, but it's not a normal 2.5 ACOG. Why? Because you see that the outer frame is very chunky and looks different. And in general, I feel like this gives it a different contrast. It just feels like you see more of the screen than you would with a normal ACOG 2.5. So you can definitely consider running this. And I feel like normally I'm not the biggest fan of the crosshair here. It's definitely viable, but I feel like it's too zoomed out, so I don't really feel like I'm locked in. If it had like a center dot, I would be digging this thing. But when I play this thing, the screen just starts shaking. Yeah, not my favorite scope. I run the normal 2 times. So for further simplification, I will just, on this channel, currently call ACOG the 2.2 times, because I think it's the best ACOG in mobile. That just and otherwise I will probably say in what ACOG I am referring to. Think it's not the case. I think here is the scope. Okay, never mind. Hibana has one, which I am unable to show you. It's currently also not in the rotation, but there's like a skin for Hibana where she has like a holo. I think it's called Reflex, but it looks like a triangle and has a very big center dot. It's quite popular. It's from, I can show you at least what it's called. Yes, it's the Kyoto skin, apparently. The skin which comes with this MVP. I only got the MVP and I think one pistol attachment. I don't have the skin. But however, like I wouldn't recommend running it because obviously you have the ACOG. Now here you have a couple of different scopes, but as you know, the ACOG 2 times is the most popular and the most desired. I'll show it to you. I am actually, the more I've played with it, I am not the biggest fan of it. I think it's pretty decent in close range because it feels like you're not really zoomed in. This is how it looks. When I was running purple, I loved this, but if I'm not running purple enemy outlay color, this isn't this great. So that's that. But it still does look quite refreshing. It looks like you have a not the chunkiest scope, and you see a lot. Okay. Now I need to make sure I'm changing the build because I don't want to accidentally be stuck with some hipfire stuff in ranked and then I have no recoil. So let me quickly change back to my vertical compensate, tactical compensator build. And then we can keep going. Okay, Jäger, where is he, where is he? He's here. Kapkan. Now Kapkan has an insane scope. This is pay to win. This is from the skin where he digs in the trash. That's, I don't know what it's called, let's call it homeless. But this looks like an ACOG. It's a really nice skin, I just think it's very precise. Center, clear center dots. Very simple to spot the enemy. It's a little bit chunky, but I feel like the precision of the scope just is worth it. You also have some style. Now sadly I don't have the weapon skin. And I want to buy the entire skin because it's a tier 5 red skin. It's really expensive. But I only wanted the scope and I got the scope. So now that you've seen it, let's move to the next operator. Legion? I'm not sure about... Yes, Legion does have one. But where is it? This is the question. Did they remove it? Didn't there used to be... Okay, I don't have it apparently. Guess I'm supposed to be glad. I don't have the solo. However, there is one scope for Legion, which basically comes with this skin. And the center dot used to be really difficult to spot. So I decided not to get it. But do I have the MVP? This is the question. I don't have the MVP. Okay, so I just didn't buy the entire pack. I can't tell you. I could imagine this looking different, but I don't have it. I mean, this looks chunky, but I think it's just a normal holo. Let's try it out. I kind of like the reflex, so I'll probably change it back. Yes, but this would be running a red center dot, very chunky. Maybe you just really want red. It would be nice if you like red. But I'd rather see things through my mirror. So, not the scope I recommend. However, it is linked to a skin. And I think red is quite visible, and red is nice color, so I'll be running red. Does it still? Top, you must need 5. Okay, the bug's still here. So I have to restart if I want to play. Where's Mira? Here. Secondaries aren't really this great. Now I could show you a skin. Where is it? I'll show it to you just because it's so silly. This is probably the worst iron sight in the game. Like, you just lose all ability to see anything. It's really big. Maybe you feel cool, but probably will hit less. The most unique ACOG is definitely, and not ACOG, the Ash one that I showed you earlier, the unique scope. Rogue. I think Rogue is a unique one. This holo definitely does not feel like a normal holo. But it is a bit too chunky for me. I think it is also red though. Yeah. Definitely does look funny though. Smoke. I don't think Smoke has any crazy holos. Scopes. No special scopes here for Thatcher. No special scopes for Thermite as far as I'm aware of. Wait. No, there is one. Okay, this is actually, it's pretty nice that I can show it to you now. Because I think this scope here is, as far as I know, the same as the Legion scope. This is how the Legion scope looks. I think the Legion scope is a little bit bigger, and the center dot's a little bit worse to see, but it looks very similar to this. And I'm not really a fan of it. I just prefer the ACOG, undoubtedly, always. If I would have where to run the scope, I would probably call it a challenge. Definitely not beneficial. However, it does feel a little bit chunky, so maybe if it were for a defender, it would be okay, because maybe you feel locked in. And it's like a mid-tier scope, right, where you feel locked in, but you're not really locked in. The solution would be, when it comes to locking in, getting closer to your screen. Now, Twitch, I haven't seen any special scope. Ying, I think. This one could look special, at least because it's not a circle. I don't have it, but I suppose it looks like a 1.5. Okay, and that is basically it. For the main weapons, let's quickly go over the pistols. Pistols, the general idea is you want a center dot, which is visible. So, you know what, I will actually make a separate video for pistols and just show off the skins for pistols. Thank you very much, goodbye. And I hope this helped you spend not or save some platinum if you were thinking about getting a skin just because you wanted the iron sight. Might not always be the best idea. The normal scopes are also really good. I really enjoy the ACOG 2 times. This one, I think, I don't know, it comes from the rookie. Okay, yes. The ACOG 2 times for attackers is my favorite scope. You can also run the ACOG 1.5. For example, if you run purple, this is really strong. Purple is just good in general. But ACOG 2.5 is my personal attacker scope. I don't run anything else. Now for defenders. I like the Tier 2 Reflex. Or the L18 Pro. Those are normally my go-to scopes. Sometimes when I feel very, very risky, I play the Holo. The Holo in the beginning I thought the Holo is better than the Reflex, because it feels like you're more locked in, but because I now know how to appreciate the triangle shape of the Reflex, I prefer the Reflex over the Holo because you can really see the triangle shape. So sometimes you have like a live reaction recoil control, and this is just really great. L18 Pro just gives you more peripheral vision, which is also pretty nice. RoPro, I feel like the RoPro is the little worse brother of the Reflex. Maybe if this had a red center dot, I would consider running it. But it is purple, not purple, it is yellow, and there are quite a lot of yellow maps, especially if you consider that I like to run purple and warm game settings sometimes. So when my game is on warm, I really struggle seeing this yellow center dot, so I just simply don't run it. But some people really enjoy it. However, I recommend the Reflex or the L18 Pro. I run the Reflex. Okay, that is basically the normal scopes. Let's talk about iron sights regarding pistols in a different video. Thank you very much and have a great day.